Welcome, the Gamer Man's Lounge. Awaken to play.
First things first, I had a blast with video game classics, and I still have a blast when I'm doing video game classics. And when it comes to video game classics, we go back to the past and play games of the past that either you or me have played, or wish to play more of, or wanted to play, or wish we should have played. It is great. But however, we can take a break from the past, and we can pretty much fast forward to the present and talk about the games of the present. Because, hey, games are still great in the present. Okay, yeah, I made an overstatement. A bit of an overstatement, but hey, let's keep right on going. This modern day, wonderful, fantastic download title is going to make it definitely feel nostalgic and reminiscent of the past because, well, it shares a certain theme and art. And however, welcome to Verlet Swing, where of course you get to swing around in Vaporwave land. And of course it's a downloadable title which anybody can find on your PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PC. I mean, it's a huge multi-platform download title, and yeah, it's all over the fucking place. Pretty insane. Well, I can't say all over the place because I don't even know if this game has a fucking mobile port. Hey, it is what it is. But hey, here's Verlet Swing. Verlet Swing is a first-person platformer of aesthetic proportions. Okay, let's get the shenanigans aside for a bit. Verlet Swing carries a vaporwave-type art style. One thing to know is that it gives a form of nostalgia. That design is basically centered around an 80s, 90s abstract style, and it's supposed to give you this feeling of being nostalgic. Overall, the way the game is designed is essentially eye candy to say the least. Now let's go ahead and focus on the gameplay. You are basically given a hook to swing around with, and you are placed in Vaporwave land. The goal is to swing around like you are either Spider-Dude or Tarzan. That is until you reach this giant blue orb that will teleport you to the next level. And if you're going to be teleported to a new world, that giant blue orb will instead turn golden. And speaking of worlds, you are given 5 worlds with 20 levels in each one, and you add them all together, you get a total of 100 levels. World 1 centers around a museum-like structure where you are surrounded by sculptures and ancient buildings. World 2 centers around like under or over the sea. It's kind of like a water theme where you could just bounce off the bubbles and catch rides from flying fish. World 3 centers around food and might make you hungry, and World 4 centers around computer technology, and World 5 centers around something hellish, kind of gives you a feeling like you're in the underworld, and it involves fossils. And in order to pass a level, you're stuck in midair. You can't land, you can't crash into anything. Unless you are bouncing off a bubble in World 2, yes, you can get away with that. However, you can swing off anything that is brightly colored, but darker colors, you're mostly unable to interact with those items if they're like darker color. You have the ability to control direction in midair, also speeding you up and slowing you down in midair as well. However, you can take your time to pass the level, but if you want to challenge yourself and see how fast you can beat a level, there are skill grades alongside online leaderboards. However, if we are talking about levels, they're essentially complex in some way, shape, or form. And there are a few levels that were unclear to me, and I had a hard time finding out where to go next. I had to consider a walkthrough at some point. At the same time, a lot of the levels seem clear even though you thought otherwise. Besides, the level design is so damn good, at times you wind up getting lost admiring the scenery. I mean, credit where credit's due, the levels are really good at challenging you, alongside being really good at looking great, alright? But what if you are done with the main campaign and you cleared 100 levels? Oh, hey, there's challenge modes where you could just go through all the levels in one go, or just have all the levels be randomized on you, or basically not have the ability to control yourself in midair, alongside trying to do what you can to limit yourself in terms of swinging. You could break your own records, but you also have community levels where you can make your own level or play other people's levels. And that totally said, yes, there is definitely replayability. When it comes to the soundtrack of the games, oh boy, they become lengthy but catchy and groovy tunes fitting with the game's theme. There are no issues I have with the music, as the music are bangers. The gameplay is really addicting, as I found myself getting glued to the game. I would spend hours getting carried away or being really determined to clear one level that I am stuck in, and Verlet Swing is no doubt a hell of an addicting game to say the least. As the levels can get challenging, you get a rewarding feeling of satisfaction knowing you conquered a tough-ass level. And you can basically say, I had a blast with this game. Verlet Swing is no doubt a great game worthy to download, and you're going to have a great time, definitely. Even if this game makes you feel nostalgic of the 80s and 90s aesthetic style. I really like the design of those 90s cups with the solo. Like, those paper cups look great, and I know people go for the cheaper store brand, but my goodness, like, whew, man, I love that wavy design. It's pretty cool. Ah, man. Ah, yes. Takes me back to the 90s. Yeah, I'm a 90s kid. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's Modern Games, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Oh, but wait, before we go, here's another thing. Not only will we do video game classics, retro games, alright? Not only will we do retro games, we'll do modern games too. So, yeah, we're just gonna go from the past to the present, and then to the past, and the present, and it is what it is. But hey, that totally said, that is all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out. This is nothing but a video product made by a fellow gamer man. Ayo!